Hello and welcome back to my reaction sort of commentary because it's not a blind reaction because I've seen the show before, but also it's been a very long time since I've seen the show before, so I don't really remember anything, so I am reacting, but also I'm more just commentating because I'm a huge Fullmetal Alchemist nerd and I want to yap. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. This is just an excuse for me to yap. I just be wanting to yap all day. That's all this really is. Anyway, let's watch episode 3.
Hey! I'm bored! One more second, Winry.
So, this is an interesting thing. This is not going to be as much of a tangent as it was last time because it doesn't bother me as much as because last video we had the whole thing about how neither show gets the Cornello stuff right. That was a rant, but it's just something that bothers me in the brain. This is going to be a little bit of that tangent here, but it's not as much of a tangent because this doesn't piss me off as much. I don't know why it doesn't piss me off as much, but it just doesn't. But another thing that both shows do different from the manga is when we get a lot of this like backstory stuff for Ed and Al. I am going to double check. I do in fact still have my volume 1 here. But basically, we don't actually get the full context of Ed and Al's backstory until we meet Azumi in the manga. We get bits and pieces of it. We know the gist. We know they committed the human transmutation. We know all that stuff. But we don't actually get the full-fledged flashback showing how he was recruited into the military, how he became a state alchemist, how he learned alchemy, all that stuff. We learn all of that when we meet Izumi in the manga. And up until then, we're more or less just told what the Elric's backstories are and given like little glimpses into it. And this is like something different in both shows where we get to see a lot more of it way earlier on in the story than we do in Brotherhood. Wait, the manga, not Brotherhood. Yeah, the manga basically just kind of like holds back on Alphonse's and Edward's backstory for a lot longer than either of the shows do. Both Brotherhood and O3 kind of rush through the backstories very early on. I don't know why it makes sense in Brotherhood because they're just trying to get through everything that O3 already did. So I get it with Brotherhood. I don't know why in O3, if it's just because like they were making half the shit up because they didn't have a lot to go off of. So they just were like, oh, let's just throw in as much filler as we can. Which, I guess, fair. I mean, what else are you gonna do? But, yeah. Just a little tidbit, little tangent. Not a rant. I'm not pissed off about it like I was before. I don't know why that specific thing pisses me off so much, but it does. But this one does not. This is just a fun little tidbit for those who haven't read the manga.
Winry! That was our very first use of alchemy.
Okay, hang on. That's a bit complex for your very first use of alchemy. I'm trying real hard not to make this just like, let's poke fun of it O3, because like I said, the glorified fanfiction, that's the vibes I'm going for. But I gotta call out bullshit when I see bullshit. That's really complex alchemy for two little kids that's their very first use of alchemy. Like, making an entire doll is a lot. I get that they're prodigies. I do get that. But even Brotherhood and the manga always made a point that, like, early on, they were very, very simple transmutations. They were literally just making figures out of, like, wood and stuff like that. They weren't doing crazy, complex alchemy that involved a ton of different elements. And also, how did you get a doll from, like, a bunch of dust? What was that supposed to be? Like, those are not the components of a doll. It should have been fabric. Anyway, don't. Chill. Chill. Just enjoy it. Turn your brain off a little bit. Except I can't do that because this is Fullmetal Alchemist and the brain is running at full speed. Full speed ahead. Anyway. We're good.
There they are!
Get that one!
No, you can't pull that one first!
Oh, they're so cute. Okay, I gotta say this thus far anyway. I do love that they're like giving Trisha so much screen time and dialogue and like making her an actual character, like that's really cool. I do like that. I have the skill of being able to like build my own canon in my head. And so it's like there's things like this when there's multiple iterations of the same story where I just take my favorite parts from each and then like create an amalgamation that I like. Now, obviously, like for me with Fullmetal Alchemist, the manga is my favorite version of the story. I feel like that's obvious at this point how much I reference the manga. But like there's a lot of really good stuff from all the other media out there too. There's good stuff in Brotherhood, obviously. There's good stuff in O3. There's good stuff in the light novels. There's good stuff in the video games, though I don't know a lot about the video games. I really need to look into the video games. Maybe I could do that on the channel. Who knows? I need to read more of the light novels. I've only read The Abducted Alchemist because it has the plot of a fan fiction, but yeah, I really need to look more into the extended materials. But like again, it's sort of like this building your own canon thing when you have multiple versions of the same story that I like to do. So it's like I see something like this where they give Trisha more of a character and we get to see her interacting with the boys way more often. Which to be fair, in the manga we do get to see a fair bit of that. There's a whole little bonus chapter in one of the mangas where we get to see a lot more of Ed and Al and Trisha and Hohenheim before like everything fell apart, before Hohenheim left. And we get to see them all interacting as a family. This didn't make it into Brotherhood. This is a manga only thing. And so we do get more of her character in the manga than we do in Brotherhood. But this is giving her like a ton more. And I am so down for it. And as far as I'm concerned, like this is going into my personal canon, dude. Like absolutely. Give Trisha some more character. Let's do it.
Why are you so angry at Daddy all the time?
I mean,
why do you think?
Yeah.
He ditched us. I can't say I hate him. I don't remember him enough. But when Mom thinks of him, she gets sad. That's reason enough not to like him.
Aww. I guess.
This kind of plays into what I was saying before, where, like, you kind of can, like, take bits and pieces of each canon and combine them together. Because O3 is trying to pad for time, like, for as long as they can, because they're so limited on the source material that they have a lot of opportunity to let you breathe, let you just sit with the characters in these moments that Brotherhood and the manga as well doesn't necessarily have the time to do, because the manga and Brotherhood are far more focused on the story. They're focused on moving the story forward because they have to. Like, they can't sit with these things because they have to be paced. They have to focus on the pacing and keep the story moving because that's how a story works. But in the case of O3, they're doing the exact opposite. They're trying to prolong the story for as long as they can to try and get as much as they can out of the manga. Because it's limited. They had a limited resource and they had to make do with what they had, and therefore they were able to expand on things that the manga wouldn't spend a ton of time going into because it doesn't need to. It doesn't need it to tell the story that it's telling. And therefore we get a lot of really good moments like this where we get to just sit with the characters and have fun with them. They're not necessary, but they're nice to have. And again, it goes back to like build your own canon. This conversation is now 100% canon to me. Like absolutely, this was a great moment. This is a great moment of a little boy trying to grapple with the fact that his father left him before he becomes the more embittered teenager that we see in Brotherhood and the manga, and I assume in O3. I think he still hates Hohenheim in O3. I don't remember a lot about it, but you know, in Brotherhood and manga, like he hates Hohenheim. And that's a huge part of Ed's like internal conflict. We don't need this moment to understand that and be able to relate to it and feel emotional about it, but it is nice to have, and therefore it is nice to watch O3 and take these moments for what they are and incorporate them into your own canon. Anyway, I love stuff like this.
Don't be stupid, Al. They're plain dead. My mom and dad are dead.
This is another great moment that to be added, because I don't think we see Winry's reaction. We do see it like briefly. We see glimpses of it, but we never get like a full flashback of her finding out that her parents are dead. I don't think. I could be wrong about that, Like, we don't need it, but because O3 has so much time on its hand that it can just give these moments to us, it's nice. Like, again, build your own canon. Combine the two. There's no reason they have to exclude each other. Like, yes, Manga Hood is better than O3. Objectively speaking, it's a better story. But that doesn't mean O3 doesn't have value. It absolutely does. And that's the thing I get real pissy about with the whole, like, Brotherhood versus O3. First of all, the manga's better than either of them. But, like, why does it have to be versus? Why can they not, like, exemplify each other? Is that the correct word? I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. Enhance. That's the word I'm looking for. Why can they not enhance each other? There's no reason. There's no reason to pit the two shows against each other. It's stupid. Fucking let them enhance each other and enhance the manga, which is still better than both, but I digress.
There's this artificially made thing called a homunculus. It's sort of a living doll without a mind
Edward,
to begin
now
with.
is not
Some
the
scholars
time.
believe with alchemy, if you're willing to give up enough...
Stop! There'll be no talking like that in this house, you
Ah.
understand me?
Backwards, old bat.
Jesus Christ, Ed. Yeah, that was
No,
deserved.
she's right. Winry's already lost more than we ever will.
Okay, first of all, Ed, wild to just go on that tangent while Winry is upset. I mean, I get it. I'm not judging him. He's a little boy. He doesn't know how to react to something like that. He's just going based off what he knows. But by God, that was crazy. Anyway.
Can you imagine how that'd be?
You're about to. You're about to imagine. Actually, you're gonna do more than imagine. You're gonna live it, bitch. Oh, this is a solid episode.
What's the matter with you
This
two?
is like really good.
Come on, Ed. Even you, my little man. What could be so bad?
This is so cute. Wow. This is really good.
A ring of flowers would be nice. You see, your father always used to make them for me.
Like, I love that we get to spend more time with this stuff. And, like, we get to see more of Trisha's character. And, like, her dying words being about Hohenheim and stuff like that just really adds to Ed's anger. And again, there's no reason this isn't canon. There's no reason you can't be like, that happened. We don't see it in Brotherhood, so we can just take this. We can take this as apply it to the Manga Hood canon. There's no reason not to. But I really do love that. Because I feel like it really, really adds to Ed's anger and hatred towards his father. So good. Love it. It's the fucking hat!
I'm sorry. Ow.
I'm sorry, I just thinking, and I was like, you know, they always do the, like, what could equal the value of a human soul? Well, apparently it's an arm. I mean, he got Alphonse's soul for an arm. So apparently the value of a human soul is just an arm. You guys just had to cut off one of your arms. There you go. That's why it failed. Boom. You had to just cut off one of your arms. That's all you had to do. Listen, I understand. It's because, you know, Alphonse wasn't dead. You can't bring the dead back to life. But he still did trade for Alphonse's soul his arm. So, an arm is apparently equivalent to a living soul. Boom. Problem solved right there. Human transmutation. I got it.
Well, that explains a few things. A human transmutation.
Hello, Mustang. My husband. What? Who said that? I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't hear anything. Don't worry about it.
Then you know where my dad is?
I only wish, kid. We've been looking for Hohenheim for a long time, and we're still only kicking up dirt.
I kind of love that he's like barely got any idea what is going on here. Like, yeah, he's got the bare bones essential of the context, but he still understands enough to know that this is a kid trapped in a suit of armor, and he treats him like a kid immediately. I love that. I love that. I love it when a character treats Alphonse like a kid, because I know Alphonse loves it. It makes me happy when Alphonse is happy. Okay? He deserves all the good things in the world.
I'll have to come with you then.
Why's that?
You're no good without me. You just turn into a jerk.
Thanks for the endorsement.
It's true.
But seriously, we're all we've got.
Episode 4, from what I understand from the preview of the last episode, this is our first, like, filler, like, full-fledged filler episode. Like, takes nothing from the manga. If I recall correctly. And if I understand the preview. So, let's see. Because filler is fun. Like, at least, again, because I'm looking at this show through the lens of glorified fanfiction and building your own canon, I can have fun with filler. Because I'm not looking for the story. You know, I'm not looking for the story to be progressed. I'm looking to just have fun. So as long as the filler is fun, I'm fine with it. So let's see.
Whatever it takes, I'm sure Mustang will guide us through it.
Aww. You're gonna
What
hate
am I
his
stressing
ass.
for?
You aren't supposed to be here. This place is off limits.
That's a girl,
You could
right?
get yourself killed.
What would your late sister think if she could see what you've turned into?
Wait a
Shut up!
guilt trip.
You don't know how I feel. Nobody does.
Kind of an
My
asshole.
sister didn't just up and die.
Your theory's as logically sound as a ghost tale. Besides, I don't believe
Well, it
in
literally
revenge
is
as
a ghost
motivation.
town.
You're just saying that.
I'm gonna guess that she's like a doll or something like that. I don't remember the twist, but I do know there is one. Brother! What did she do to him? I mean, not that I'm complaining. Oh, yes, I knew it was a doll.
Oh, you mean the so-called zombies? Yeah, I saw your toys.
Toys? They're canvases for spirit attachments. Mannequins I've carved into exact replicas of my beloved Corinne, onto which I bind the soul of any village girl I can snare. In doing so, I formed living versions of my fallen love.
Then you should try turning the other cheek, winch!
Oh, he hit her with that winch!
Do something, Al! I'm trying to tell you that Corinne never died. The day of the accident, she hit her head, lost her memory, and started a new life somewhere. 20 years later, her memory returned in a flash, and in a true gesture of love, she came straight back to you. But you were too blinded by obsession to see it was her.
Way to exposition dump. Oh! Did Ed just fucking kill this guy? Oh! Hold up!
Don't see it. There's just no way you could possibly be my Corinne.
Oh. Ed just fucking killed the dude! Hang on! Hang on, wait a minute! What just happened? I really just have not had a lot to say this episode. It was filler and it really didn't inspire much in me. I'll be real with you. I'm not a huge fan. What just happened? Hang on. I remember that Ed kills Greed in this one. I remember that. I do not remember that he killed anybody else. I thought Greed was the only one. Oh my god. Why is he being so chill about this? Crazy. Insane.
Good to see you're depressed and back to normal.
Huh?
I think you should be the one depressed.
I'm
Did
sorry.
he not
I
actually
was just
die?
thinking-
Did the guy not actually die? Why are they so chill? Why is...
Hey!
My brain is imploding. Oh,
I'm
she's
sorry
cute.
about everything I did and said.
I really like Boss though. She was a cool character.
You're
Did they just... Oh! They just fucking murdered a guy! No remorse! What is happening? Who are these people? Okay. So Ed's already got a body count. What the fuck just happened? I mean, I know it was an accident. He didn't intend to kill the guy. But you'd expect him to react a little bit. I am flabbergasted. My gastids are flabbards. My flabbers are gasted. What just happened? Something just happened. There's been a disturbance in the force. I am shocked. I am shocked and appalled. Where is my Edward Elric? This is the first time I've actually legitimately been like, hey, what the fuck? That is a blatant misunderstanding of Fullmetal Alchemist. I mean, listen, there's nothing I love more than, you know, because like I said, glorified fan fiction, right? And I do love a fanfic that pushes Ed to the breaking point of having to kill somebody. That is one of my favorite kind of fics to read, because it's interesting to find what would push him to that point. Like, I'm all down for it. This was not that. He just killed a man in cold blood and did not feel bad about it. That was insane. That was completely and utterly insane. I am in shock. Okay, I'm just gonna let the credits play and enjoy the bopping music to let my brain calm down and maybe share more thoughts after that. Okay, not a fan of that episode, I gotta be honest with you. The one before this, where they were given, like, Trisha all kinds of character, and it was, like, real cool, I love that. That was a really good episode. Like, that was thorough and solid, and I was enjoying myself during that. That was such a good episode. Loved that one. This one? Frankly, I liked Klaus, whatever her name was. I liked her. She was a cool character. I actually did really, really like her. I like it when Ed and Al kind of get to interact with other kids, you know? I really enjoyed that. I think she was really the only thing about the episode I liked. Like, I really wasn't yapping much because I just didn't have a lot to say. Until that ending. That was crazy. No remorse. That's the thing that gets me. I'm fine with Edward killing somebody. Like I said, it's one of my favorite things in fanfictions when that happens, if it's done well. This was not done well. Homie just murdered a man in cold blood. I mean, it was an accident. I do get that. I really, truly do. But that was crazy. So yeah, there's a body count already for Edward. Sure, I guess. That's what we're doing now. Why not? Let's go. But yeah, to be honest, I found this episode to be kind of boring. As far as filler goes, it was not my favorite. And the ending was crazy. That was insane. I don't know what I just witnessed. But yeah, that was episodes 3 and 4. Just total juxtaposition between those two in terms of vibes and feelings about them. We went from what might be one of my favorite episodes of Fullmetal Alchemist media ever to whatever the hell that was. Sure, let's go. You know what? Good times, fun times, even through the insanity. I knew this was coming. I knew there would be things that would make me go, hey, what the fuck, actually? I did not expect that, though. Because I genuinely did not remember that. So yeah. I can't believe Ed just killed a man. Sure. Let's just go. Let's just move on. Thanks for watching, if you did. Sure. I'm gonna go lay down now.